Okay, what we have here is a graph of cosine. Right, in a previous video, you've seen a graph of sine. Let me just quickly go through this. This is the x-axis, and that's the y-axis. Y and x. Right, let's have a look at this then. Let's just write that down. That's your graph. Right, this is 0 degrees. So if you put 0 in here, cosine of 0, cos of 0 is 1. That's why it starts over here. And if you put 90 in here, cosine of 90, it does give you 0. So that's why it's right down there. Right, and this repeats. Right, this goes all the way to here, 360. So it starts here. You can see here. Starts, goes all the way, dips down, goes up again. So when cos is 360, goes back to 1. And then you can see the graph repeats itself. And it repeats itself, it carries on. And same on the other side of 0 degrees, it repeats itself that way. Right. Now, let's suppose this is given to us in the exam. Let's suppose they tell us that cos of 60 is 0.5. Right, you can check on the calculator if you want, but it's just given to you. Cos of 60 is 0.5. Let's suppose that's given to you in the exam. We want to know other values of x's that will be 0.5. So how do we do that? Right, we're not going to do by trial and error. You're not going to do cos 61, cos 62, cos 63, and so on and so on until you get 0.5. You can use the graph to help you. Now 60, now it doesn't have to be super accurate, but you know 60 is roughly here somewhere. Right? Let's call that 60 over here. Right, 60, let's draw a line to help us. When you hit the graph, turn left, 0.5. And remember, you don't need to be super accurate. So when cos is 60, it's 0.5. The value of y is 0.5. We need to find out the other values of x's that will give us 0.5. So what we do is, see that line? Remember, these lines, straight lines, are not part of the graph. They're just there to help us find other values of x's. Right, and you carry on. I don't want to carry on any further. That will do. Right, there's one here. We need to know what that's pointing at. And there's another one here. We need to know what that's pointing at. And I'm not going to go any further that way. Right, let's just zoom in a bit to help you. Now start over here. Right, the gap between 60 and 90 is what? What's the gap between 60 and 90? 90 take away 60 is 30. That gap there is 30. So on the other side, you can see a bit of symmetry there, look. You can see it's symmetrical. Let me just show you the symmetry. It goes like this, dips down, right? And then it goes back up again. Right. If the gap here is 30, 90 take away 60, 30, then the gap here should be 30 also. That should be 30. So what's this pointing at? I want to know what that is pointing at. Right. 270, let's do this then. 270 plus the 30 makes 300. That there, this arrow, this red arrow is pointing at 300. So if you do cos 300, it should also give you 0.5. Right, let's find the other one. The gap here should also be same as the other ones. The gap here should be 30 as well. So I want to know what this one is. So whatever this number is here, this question mark, plus 30 should give you 450. So let's do inverse operation. Very simple maths. 450 take away 30 gives you 420. Right, so you can check the gap between 420 over here and 450 should be 30. Answer's 420. So another one is 420. Cos of 420 should give you 0.5. Right, same question, so same graph, different question. Cos of 110 is given as negative 0.34. You can check on the calculator if you want, but it's just given. We want to find another value of x that will give you negative 0.34. So what we can do then, let's just locate 110. Where could it be roughly? Roughly, well, it's going to be after 90, isn't it? And between 135. Let's just say it's here. Let's call that 110. It doesn't need to be super accurate. It's good enough. Right. Go down, turn left. Well, you don't need to turn left. Once you get used to it, you won't need to turn left, but I'm just doing it for illustration. Right, that is negative 0.34. Right, what I can then do, see that point there? I can extend it to the right. Right, which you could have done in the first place, to be honest. Keep going, keep going. So there's one over here. This is where it intersects. This is where it intersects. Remember, these green lines are not part of the graph. They're only guidelines to help you figure out where the other numbers are. Right, let's just zoom in a little bit so we can see. So one is over here, definitely. One of them, right? And I want to know what this one is. Right, let's have a look at some symmetry. If you focus on this area, right, look at my cursor, look at this area. There's some symmetry there, isn't there? Right, this is 90. So the gap between 90 and 110, what's that? 110 take away 90 is 20. The gap is 20 there. All right, so really here, the gap should also be 20. All right, so what we do is, if you think about the x-axis as a number line, 270 take away 20, that gives you 250, right? So this point over here is 250. So if you try cos 250, which I'm trying on the calculator right now, should also give me negative 0.34. It does. All right, and you can do the same on the other side as well, right there. Right, there's a gap of what was it? 20. So really, this one should be 470, right? Because 470 comes after 450. Right, think about it, right? You're probably wondering here, why did I do 270 take away 20? Well, let's do something silly now. Let's do this wrong. Let's do this completely wrong. Right. Let's say you've established that there is a gap of 20. And then for some silly reason, you decided, right, 270 plus 20 is 290. Right, ask yourself this question. How can it be 225 here, then 290, then 270? That's not even a number line. 290 comes after 270. So clearly this is wrong. So instead of adding, you should have taken away. So I'll just put the number back what it was. 270 take away 20 is 250. So please, before you write the answer down, use your common sense to think, right, does that number fit on the number line?